what kind of influences do you have? Metal, pop, or?
I'd say mostly, I mean, I listen to everything. So, but like punk rock, I've been a punk rocker forever. We all have, and like the pop punk influences, and just trying to at this point, Taken Days has enough songs to where we just try to do a good Taken Days song. Like it's not so much that we like, oh, we want to sound like the Menzingers here, we want to sound like Jimmy Eat World there.
Okay, I would like to ask you some questions about your band.
Yep.
And okay, it's a pleasure to me talk with you.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Thank you for being interested.
Yes, I like your music. I recognize that I hear you since the two weeks ago, more or less. I discovered that it's band records, and I really like your songs.
Thank you so much. Cool.
Okay, then I will talk about music, and you can talk that everything you want. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Your new single "Don't Take Me Home" is about a person who just not let the party. Can you explain me with more detail the meaning of this song?
Yes. So "Don't Take Me Home." It's a fun song, and it's kind of it's like a joke. We're joking around, having fun. And most Taken Days songs up to this point have kind of more of a serious lyrics and more of a serious topic. So
Yes.
on this record, we wanted to branch out and do some songs that are a little bit more silly and just kind of fun. So "Don't Take Me Home" is kind of one of the first ones. And what it means is, so we have two singers in the band, me and Corey, who plays the bass. So
Ah.
Corey's singing those
You
verses,
are the
and
person who just not love the party. Are
so
you?
I'm the other one in the song. So
Okay.
Corey's the one that wants to keep partying and partying and partying, and I'm the one saying, hey, maybe not. Maybe you should go home. You know, you could get in trouble. You could get arrested. We're not as young as we used to be. You know, you're going to be hungover, all that stuff. So it's kind of funny, is the banter of us going back and forth. And I think everybody can just relate to that. We all have that night in our life, or that friend who they're out and they're partying and they just want to go all night and they don't care about anything else, and they're just kind of on a good one. So we figured everybody could relate to that, and it's kind of fun and silly, and it's just supposed to be a fun song. That's it.
And why this change? Why take seriously the band or in the lyrics? Why?
Because we wanted to kind of change it up on this record. So our last record, a lot of the content, the songs are about like heartbreak and about healing and about interpersonal struggles with people or interpersonal struggles with yourself. And I feel like everybody can relate to a lot of
Dark times for you.
Yes, yes. And
Okay.
it's kind of emo, you know, and that's a lot of our lyrics have been about that kind of stuff, those struggles. And a lot of the lyrics on this record are as well, but we wanted to try some different stuff. So there's a few songs on the new record that are just kind of fun and silly and aren't quite as serious of a topic. So it can kind of change the mood throughout the album. It's like one song's kind of serious and heartfelt, one song really challenges you and makes you think about yourself and your own life, and then the other song is, oh, this one's just fun, you know, and if anything, kind of funny, like it has funny lyrics. It's supposed to make you smile and laugh, and we wanted
Okay.
to not only change up the tempos of the songs and the melodies, and try to push the borders and give some context, but then have the lyrics be like different too.
Wow, it's interesting thing that you can explain. Okay, the new album title "Any Minute" will be released in the next weeks this fall. Are you excited about this release? Do you feel more pressure than other releases, than previous release, or what feelings are you
Um,
feel now?
I would say now we're just excited. I think we felt pressure before we made the album, because our full length record before, called Every Second, was released on Wiretap Records in 2021, and at that time the world didn't really listen to us very much. But when we put that out, we got bigger and people listened to us.
Yes.
So we as a band and with our producer, Cameron Webb, who's a amazing producer, a legend who's done a lot of huge bands, we all talked about when Taking Days does another album, it has to be bigger, it has to be better, the songs it has to just be better. So everything about it needs to grow.
Do you feel more responsibility about it, that you are bigger and bigger ever?
Yes, and we think this record will carry us to the next level with our listeners and fans, and I think we'll gain more and more fans this way. And I do think we accomplished that. So now we feel pressure for the third album, thinking that that one has to be even better too. So we're already kind of looking past it, knowing that we have to top this now.
Okay. I told before that I discovered with these new songs, and for me it's develop as a band. You know, the lyrics are more serious that just play me, and I think that the songs are very hard work. Every song, no, and the chorus, the hooks, and I really like.
Thank you.
What is your biggest influences for develop your music?
So Taking Days, I mean, the three of us, Corey, Landon, and myself, we all have different influences in music and in punk rock, and it's very diverse. But I think for Taking Days, we've always pictured it. The sound is kind of like late 1990s, early 2000s pop punk. So like a Atreyu, MXPX, Blink-182, Alkaline Trio, like those bands are probably the biggest influence for the sound. But I think when we write or compose,
do you like when Blink 182 has the singer of Alkaline Trio or not?
When they what?
Just playing that you like Alkaline Trio and Blink 182. In the past, the singer of Alkaline Trio played in Blink 182. Do you like this period of Blink 182?
Yes, they're a big influence for our sound, like Alkaline Trio and Blink for sure. But I think you can hear in the music, like usually either me or Corey will start writing a song, and then we bring it and we compose and write every song together, the three of us as a band. So we all kind of put our stamp, and then our producer, Cameron Webb, puts some input into what he likes, what he doesn't like, what he thinks we should work on. And we're all very open-minded to let all the ideas vet through. So it's not like, oh, my song, my idea. It's more, it's our song. And if he has an idea or you have an idea or he has an idea, we try every idea. So the influences are super diverse. Even if we're going to change a tempo or a beat, or, hey, the song's cool, but the chorus isn't hooky enough, let's rewrite a new chorus and we'll try it. So we kind of try.
What kind of influences do you have? Metal, pop, or?
I'd say mostly, I mean, I listen to everything. So, but like punk rock, I've been a punk rocker forever. We all have, and like the pop punk influences, and just trying to, at this point, Taking Days has enough songs to where we just try to do a good Taking Days song. Like, it's not so much that we like, oh, we want to sound like the Menzingers here, we want to sound like Jimmy Eat World there. It's more about just writing a good Taking Days song. But because we listen to the Menzingers and because we listen to Jimmy Eat World, you might hear some of that in there, like, you know, by accident, like just because we listen to all that music. And we always just try to serve our song the best and try different parts.
Okay, so I really like the song Over CLS. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, because this song I really like.
Thank you.
What was the composition process of this song? What you explain me that the producer have different ideas, and then there is different egos that struggle, that maybe. What is the process of this song, or the main idea?
Yeah, so Overzealous was written by Corey, our bass player and other lead singer.
Yes.
And he had, I think, most of the whole song together. And what he had was the chorus was written exactly the way it is now, and him and I alternated vocals. It's like he has a line, I have a line. So that was the original idea, but the verses were different and the bridge was totally different. And we practiced it and recorded it several times, and we demoed it several times. Then we as a band made a new bridge that we were happy with, and we had new verses. And then I did some lead guitar on that song, is like a guitar 2-track to kind of add some dynamics. And then we demoed it, which was like we demoed it multiple times and everybody was happy. Well, when we were in the studio tracking it, Corey did his vocals, and then he wasn't there. I was alone with Cameron Webb, and I finished my vocals, and then Cameron, our producer, goes, "You know what? I don't know if I love the verses. I think we should try something else, different melodies."
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. So I went in there and we kind of made up melodies, and then I tried singing different things. And that's where, when you listen to those verses now, in the beginning, you'll hear Corey singing, and then I kind of come in shouty a little bit on the verses. That Cameron's like, maybe we should do something that's sort of like a Taking Back Sunday sound. And so
I
we did.
I want to ask you about Taking Back Sandy later, but
And
because
so,
for me it's a song that reminds me this bang.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
And when Corey wrote the song, he said in another interview that he was influenced by the band Brand New when he was writing that song. So I hear some Brand New in it. And then the lead guitar for me, I kind of used a little Angels and Airwaves tones on the guitar and the riff. Like,
Yeah,
so
Tom DeLonge's, yes.
yeah, Tom DeLonge, you hear the ambient guitar. And so what's funny about that song is I recorded all these different vocals, and Cameron and I liked it. And then I called Corey and was like, I got good news and bad news. The good news is I think we made the song better. The bad news is you're going to want to come back and retract some of your verse parts, or maybe rewrite your melodies. So he was like, okay, well, if you guys like it, then I want to hear it. So Corey came in and he listened to it and he goes, I really like where this is going. It's a change. And then Corey rewrote some lyrics and rewrote new melodies for his verse parts. And then when we heard that come back, we all agreed the song was better. So, and that's the kind of stuff. Yeah. Yes, I can. Oh, you know what?
Okay, okay, sorry, because there is one moment that I cannot hear you.
Okay.
Do you consider that this song is one of the best that you created so far?
So it's very hard to pick singles for your band. Overzealous was not supposed to be a single. So it was not one of the top ones that we picked. And then we were going to do 3 singles. And then we decided to do 4. And we all kind of like decided to throw Overzealous in the mix because it was a little different.
Yes.
But originally, no, that was not really one of the singles. And in fact, I think my top favorite songs are not the singles. I think the songs that I like the most are not, or they're not singles. There are other ones on the record. So we feel very confident that the record has 12 songs, and we feel confident that all 12 are good songs. So any one of them could be somebody's favorite. So I wouldn't be surprised.
You are as a father with different kids, and you love everyone in the same
Yeah.
portion, no?
Yes. And I think like it's for the listener to decide what song they like the best. And picking singles is just a way to kind of spread out the release. And our songs are different. Not every song sounds exactly the same. So we have like a sound, but we try to make each song a little different and not follow the same formula. So we do that on purpose.
Yeah, but at the same time, are there some songs that you remove and not it will be appear in the album, or when you record a song you feel that it's a great song and do you want to play in the next shows, or are there any songs that you remove for this album?
There was only one that we removed, but before we made this record, we wrote a bunch of songs and then brought them to the band and had ideas and songs. So once the three of us agree it's a good song, then we move forward with it. If somebody has an idea and it just doesn't sit well, then we just drop it and move on. So all 12 songs on the album we'd already recorded them several times before we made the record. And we had been working on them for over 1 year. So they weren't like, we already vetted it, I guess, is the point. Is if a song makes it that far down our demo process, then it's going to make the record.
Okay. I think that the opinion of the producer is very important for you for taking decisions.
Yes. Yeah. He kind of splits the difference. And he doesn't write songs. He just tells you what's good and what's not good. But he has worked with like Lagwagon, NoFX, Alkaline Trio, Social Distortion, Motorhead. So he's very, very experienced, and he's made a lot of very, very good records and very good songs. So we respect his opinion, and ultimately he's going to take the recordings and he's going to mix it and put the product forward anyways. So he's such a big part of it that if there's something that he doesn't like, or he just doesn't think that's a good take, or he doesn't think that's a good melody, then we have to at least consider trying something else every time. And we don't always listen to him, you know, or we listen, but we don't always do what he suggests, but we'll try it. If
it's not Rick Rubin that Rick Rubin is very famous because didn't take any decision in the composition of the album, but in your case, your producer is very different.
Yes,
it's one member, a new member in the band, as I suppose.
Yes, we consider him kind of a band member, and it's just little things too, where he'll be like, I like this song, but the intro is too long. So let's cut it in half. And then we'll go, okay, let's try it. So we'll cut the intro in half and we'll listen. And then if we're like, no, we like it the way it was, and it's like, okay, we tried it, you know, and then we go back. So,
okay.
or we go, you were right, this feels better. Let's leave it this way. So it's that kind of thing.
Perfect. So you told me before about one of your influences is Taking Back Sunday. This band released an album 2 weeks ago. Do you hear their last album?
Yeah, I listened to it one time. I think it's good. I think it sounds really nice.
Okay. Pop punk is a genre that is still alive. It's a genre that maybe the future is for this genre, because for example in Spain there are new audience, youth people that hear this music. The media says that Machine Gun Kelly is a important element in that this youth hear the pop punk music again. Do you feel that Machine Gun Kelly is very important in contributing that pop genre is still alive or not?
I do. So, because punk rock has been around for a long time. And when I was younger, pop punk was a lot of kids. Like, we as kids listened to punk. Now it seems like pop punk is all kind of older people, like mid 30s to like your 60s are the people that love punk rock. So in order to keep it going, we need younger people to get into it.
Yes.
And I think Machine Gun Kelly helps with that. So does like Avril Lavigne, you know, because she does the pop punk too. So I think it's good. I listen to Machine Gun Kelly, and I think some of it's pretty good. It's maybe not really for me. Like, I'm probably not going to listen to it a lot, but I think it is really well done. And I think for people that find that music, and what I hope is that they get excited and that they want to see what else is out there. And then I hope they discover other pop punk bands like the Ataris and the Flatliners. And,
it could be a first step to discover another
Yes.
bands as NoFX or you or Midtown or pop punk classics, no? Yes,
Yes.
I think so. I think so. This last summer, I assisted a live show from Machine Gun Kelly in Madrid. I feel that there is a big audience in Spain that like the music of these artists. And then I went to another punk rock shows, and I don't feel that this same audience assisted. Maybe Machine Gun Kelly for me is a rock star that played different musics that, but in my opinion, is not create a fan base of punk rockers. In my opinion, but I like their music. I like. I feel that he has good songs with a big chorus with elements that I like, but I have several dubs that these artists contribute to the punk rock. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's good, and I also think like Blink 182 is at the height of their career right now. I think they're bigger than they've ever been before, and I think their new record is really good. And I
Yes.
think that that's good for us because if people get interested in, I consider us to be a part of the next wave of pop punk, along with a lot of other really good bands. And I hope that people get more interested in what the next wave is all about. And I think Machine Gun Kelly and Blink 182 and Avril Lavigne and Green Day and stuff like that help people find our band.
Do you feel that there is a new audience with these artists? Blink 182 played in Barcelona the last month. Um, the most affluence of fans were people as me with my age. But Spain is a different case because in Spain the most famous artists are Latin music as Shakira or something like this. No, in America it's different. Do you feel that there is a new audience with Blink 182 with the last album and with the new bands that is created?
Yes, I still think that when I saw Blink 182 play in Los Angeles a few months ago, and the crowd was my age and
Yes.
or older for the most part, but there was some younger people there, and there was some people that brought their kids. So I think that's important, but I still think the fan base is a little bit older, and it reminds me of when I was a kid how classic rock and roll was for me. Like when I was a kid, all the parents and adults listened to Led Zeppelin and the Doors and the Beatles, and that was like their music. So I feel like punk is our music. But when I was a
Yes.
kid, I got into Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, and we carried that torch, and still listen to it. So I hope that the kids of today, want to get into Blink 182 and carry the torch and keep it going.
Okay. Finally, I would like to know your feelings about have played with Lagwagon in the past. What feelings did you have playing with a legends as Lagwagon?
That show was really cool. Lagwagon is definitely one of my favorite bands, and I know Corey and Landon, it's one of their favorite bands too. So that was a couple years ago now, and we had a really awesome time. We've got to play with a lot of legendary bands like the Mad Caddies, Agent Orange, the Queers.
Keith Automatic, I read.
Yes, yes. And a lot of great bands. We've been very, very fortunate. But Lagwagon was definitely a big bucket list for us. We were very excited to do that show, and it was fun because they were playing Double Platinum and Blaze in their entirety at that show. So it was like a legendary night. It was cool, and all the guys in Lagwagon are super nice and super cool. Our producer Cameron Webb makes their music too. So we have a little bit of a connection there. But that was awesome. A really, really big privilege to be part of that.
Then, is there any chance to play in Europe in the next months, in the next summer?
We are going to try very, very hard. I think the chances are looking very good that
Wow.
we'll be in Europe next year. So not sure about Spain
Awesome.
yet, but I do think it's very likely that we come to Europe. We know that a lot of people in Europe are starting to listen to us. And so we think it's very important for us to get to Europe. And if anything, we'd probably like to do it once a year, go out there and play. And hopefully one day we get to play Spain.